மேடம் ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்குவாங்க. இப்போ வெபினார்ல நம்ம தானே கிரியேட்.
Can we just start, ma'am, with the welcome address?
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Good morning to one and all gathered here. It's a great pleasure indeed to be with you on this nice occasion to deliver the welcome address. As we all know that there is a need to sensitize and create awareness about gender justice and rights among academic and non-academic community in the educational institution by UGC. Therefore, our institution has made a wonderful opportunity to welcome you all for this gender sensitization program. Now I take a privilege to welcome the chief guest of today's function, Mrs. A.N. Dr. Uma Ma'am. She is working as a professor in medical genetics, anatomy department, and principal of allied health sciences at MGMCRI SPV University, Puducherry. She has 20 years of teaching and research experience. She has been a resource person, presented scientific presentation, and participated in more than 250 scientific events. She has been an organizing member for more than 50 conferences, CMEs, and workshops conducted at MGMCRI. She has published more than 30 original research papers in international and national journals. She has received 18 Best Paper Poster Presentation Awards, including Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow Award, Scotland. She also received Best Poster Presentation in international conferences. She has been guiding various research projects for scholars and postgraduate students in anatomy, pediatrics, surgery, and MDS students. Currently, she is having various ongoing research projects in the field of cytogenetics. She is an associate editor for Journal of Basic Medical and Applied Health Sciences, Annals of SBV, and editor-in-chief for the official quarterly newsletter of SBV, The Chronicle. And most importantly, a member of grievance cell and women's cell at SBV, and has been actively involved in many events organized under the aegis of WE at SBV, maintaining a harmonious atmosphere at the institute to enable women to pursue their work with dignity and reassurance. We welcome you, ma'am. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now I hand over the session to Dr. A.N. Uma, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good morning, and thank you so much for having welcomed me. It's been a very great honor to be a part of the women's cell of Sri Venkateswara Dental College. On this occasion, I would like to thank the principal for having selected me to be one of the resource speakers for this particular webinar. It is good that I'm getting connected with the people around me. For me, being a woman, and for me, encouraging the students over there. Very good morning, Dr. Varsha.
Good morning, ma'am.
It's very nice to see you there. And I feel very honored to be a speaker. Amidst this kind of a pandemic situation, everything has gone online. And it is very good that I'm meeting people and having rapport with them, woman to woman, and all the problems that we are facing in our professional end, the problems that the girl students will be facing at their college end, as well as in their home, either personal, professional, or in their academics. Okay, whatever it may be, I feel that we are here to give hope to each and every woman in this particular world, stating that, yes, we can do it. Yes, all of us can do it. Yes, all of us are equal. And how are we equal? What had happened earlier? Why we were not treated equal? Are we saying that we are equal and still are we not equal? Well, this is certain views which I have as a woman would like to impart it to the dental students, girls wing at Sri Venkateswara Dental College. I think just give me a couple of times. I will share the slide, and after which I'll get back to you, ma'am. Hope everybody is able to view the slide that has been shared. Yes, Madam Amrita, you're able to share, view it? Yes?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Dear students, it's been an immense pleasure from my end to be a part of this particular program, and the title that have been suggested by the UGC and also suggested by your honorable principal. The topic is going to be gender bias and stereotyping. I've written the word stereotype because you will understand the various types of stereoness that has been happening to us as a woman in this world, and how we need to focus ourselves at a good point and a very positive point in all our part of our lifetime. So what is that we say is gender bias? You can see the picture there. Mostly it happens in our professional end, where all the male genders have been given a very huge ladder, and they're very easy to climb up to the top of the ladder, whereas a woman there who may be very well qualified has been just given a very small ladder. This is what you want. You take up this ladder. You try to climb up high. Is it possible for her just with 4 steps over there to fly up, to climb up? Well, this is the scenario that all of us are actually in. So gender bias is nothing, but it is a tendency to prefer one gender over the other. So who is the one gender? That is we as a woman. Okay, the tendency that you are not good and the males are preferred or the boys are preferred. That is what is known as a gender bias as of now. In today, the society, the gender bias is often used to refer to the preferential treatment that the men get, the better and the best treatment that the men get, and the prejudice that they have against all the women because they are a woman. You are a girl, you are a woman, you are an old grandmother, you are a mother, you have nothing, you have no say in this world. We men are great. So this kind of a preference that is given to the men against women is what we say to be a gender bias. And this most predominantly seen, me as a woman, seeing in our professional settings earlier, you as girls would have faced the same thing while at home or even while at college. You may not be good. I think I will call that boy. This is not only the man who's going to say that, this is also to do with a woman who also say that, yes, I think the boys are better than the girls. But this is not so. What do we as a woman ask for? We are asking for gender equality. So what I mean when I say that I want a gender equality, it is not only a fundamental human right that we are asking for. We want gender equality for a very peaceful, for a very prosperous, and for a very sustainable world when men are treated equal to women. So gender is our social, it is our legal rights. Just like the boys, yes, the girls are there. Just like the men, yes, the women are there. This is what we need to have. Gender identity is how you feel about and express yourself as a gender, right? Each and every individuality has their own individual self where they can always get angry. It is not only the boy should get angry. It is not only the men can get angry. Definitely a woman has the right to get angry when she feels that she's not all right. When she needs to express her anger, she has the right. So, but when we go around, we find that the culture, for example, in Indian culture, it determines the gender role. What is masculine? What is feminine? If I'm going to shout, what kind of a woman she is shouting. This is what is a gender. But if the same thing a man is going to shout, he is a man, he has the right. So who decides it? Who talks it? It is we in the society. I'm not only blaming the men who's going to say that. It is also the woman there who also, masks the role of a woman, stating that she has no right to shout. She's not a man. She's after all a woman. So definitely it is true. Our culture and every culture all around the world has got a gender roles. All have their expectation, the way a woman and a man, a girl and a boy, how they should dress, how they should behave, how they should look. Let us take our own broomstick girly culture. I'm talking about our Indian culture. I'm talking about, let's say, Puducherry culture itself. So what is it? Suppose if a small girl takes a broomstick and she's going to sweep, every woman in the household, either the mother or the auntie or the grandmother, they are so happy to see, wow, see, she's already taken up a role. She's taking the broomstick, she's sweeping the floor. So all the women, including the men, she now knows who she is, right? The same thing happens. Suppose if a very small boy or a very cute kid, a boyish, takes up the broomstick, starts to sweep the floor, immediately if you see all the women there itself, women are the real enemies of another girl that is being brought up. All the women there will run to that particular boy and pull up the broomstick, throw it and say, you are a boy. You are a boy. You don't have the right. You are not supposed to hold a broomstick. Okay, this broomstick should be held only by a girl. This is where we go wrong. This may be a regular instance that all of us actually get to see. Maybe you people also would have experienced. If you take a broomstick, people are very happy. The boys, the girls, the men, the woman, the old grandmother, the old grandfather. But if it is a boy who's going to take the broomstick, immediately it's a woman or the man who runs through the broomstick stating that, no, 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 you are a boy. You should not be sweeping the floor. Sweeping the floor is that of the girls. So this is where our culture play a role. The next part is stereotyping. I'm just sharing with you what is a gender bias and what is a stereotyping. When I say stereotype, what do I mean? There are different kinds. One is a personality trait. For example, the women are often expected to be very passive, very submissive. At any point, anybody can shout, she's supposed to keep quiet, right? And any work they ask us to do, she must obediently say, yes, I will do it. You walk forward, she walks forward. You walk backward, she walks backward. This is what is expected. While men, they are expected to be very self-confident. They're expected to be very aggressive. And this has become a part and parcel in their life where all the women in the family, all the men in the family keep telling, this is your personality. You are a man. You are supposed to be very confident. You're supposed to be very aggressive. Only then you are a man. So this is a personality trait. Next is the domestic behavior. For example, women, they have to care the children. Men, any kind of a household repair, no. Oh, woman cannot do it. It is only a man. Only he can best do the household repair. I agree with each and everything. It is a domestic behavior. Yes, women are the most caring in the entire universe. Yes, we care for the children. But is it wrong for a man to care for the children? For their own daughter? Okay, or their own son? Is it that only that a woman should supposed to do it? I don't think so, right? And do you think that only women should only care that of their children and cannot do any kind of a household repair? For example, in my home, if the gas cylinder is over, I will not expect my husband or my son to come and, change it. Well, I can do it. If there's a small bulb that has gone off, I can always remove that from the holder, put it in. Don't you think that I can do it? Yes, we can do it. But this has not been agreed earlier. Things are actually changing now. Let's talk about the occupation. Until recently, mostly, if I say nurses, or if I say if there is a manager, there should be a secretary, every time the only preference is woman. Woman nurse. If I say woman, nurse, secretary, it's once again a woman. But if I say doctors or construction workers, earlier, mostly it was only men. That was earlier. Things are fast changing now. Okay, there are 100 students, nursing students. Yes, now we have at least 10 boys who are also taken up, and they are the most wanted staff nurse that is required in any kind of hospital settings. Things are changing, but the mindset that a woman, if she is there, if you're going to say something about the nurse, it should be a woman. And let's go next about the physical appearance. So women are supposed to be very small and graceful. When I say the word small, I mean very humble. You're going to wear a wonderful sari. You're going to wear a wonderful chudidar. You're supposed to be very humble to look at, very graceful to look at. You are not expected to wear a t-shirt or a jeans. Things are changing, is a different. I'm not going to talk about only a small group of people who you as a college, maybe your parents would have allowed. Think of the 75% of the girls who are there in the villages, who are there in the towns in India, where they are not allowed to step further other than the locally decided dress codes. Okay. And if we're going to talk about the physical appearance, men, they should be very tall. They should have broad shoulder. Think of it. I am 5'7" height. I am also tall for a woman. Is it wrong? It is not wrong. What is actually wrong? It is a genetic makeup. You cannot say all men should be tall. Suppose if the genetic makeup is less, yes, they're going to be short, right? A girl can be tall, can be short, and all this cannot be decided by the society. It's decided by the God who decides this is the genetic makeup a person should be. But the physical appearance also is stereotyped in this culture and society. So gender stereotyping is, what does it define? An overgeneralization of characteristics, the differences, the attributes of a certain groups based on the gender. Under this assumption, if you say, if a man or a woman act differently from how their gender is expected to behave, then they say something is wrong with him. The evaluator mind is disconnected. If it is a woman, she has to be this way. If it is a man, it has to be this way. If a man is very, manly, very aggressive, yes, he is going to be humble, very good, very calm, very quiet. Hey, what is this? He doesn't seem to be behaving like a man. He's acting as though he's like a woman. There. So assertive women earlier were called bitches. They were called as O's. While men who don't look like or act very masculine, they were called to be wimps or assumed to be gay. I think the people there will understand what I mean by gay. A gay is a man being called as a woman, and there is something known as a transgender community, which is very, very offensive as of now and not accepted earlier. Slowly things are changing. So, do we agree? The two symbols there. The first one is talking about a male. The second one is talking about the female symbol. Is man equal to woman? A boy equal to a girl? Do we, or are we treated alike? Are we treated equal in the society? Are we treated equal at home? Are we treated even at the college end or in the professional end? Well, let's talk first at home. I have a personal experience. I come from a very orthodox family where a girl is supposed at home to do all the household work, or even if there's a servant, it's not a problem. If your brothers have taken their food, it is up to the girl or a sister at home to take their plates, put it in the sink. Or you go to the school, you study, you come back home, study, write the exam, pass. This was a kind of experience I was supposed to have experienced at home, coming from a very, very orthodox family. But then, when I was studying in 4th standard, I was actually very good at sports. So I was very good at running. I realized when I got the first prize in the cross-country race in the year 1979, when I did not inform anyone at home, I got up morning 5 o'clock, put on my school dress. I didn't even wear I just wore my ordinary shoes. I went to the school and they said, you have to round about the school, and I have to come back. I kept running barefoot. I never knew whether I'm going to win. It is the will that I need to participate. And the end, I realized that I was a winner. They're so good at running that I knew this as also my career. I never at any point of time left being good at studies. I continued to be a very good sports person. And at 4th standard, 5th standard, 6th standard, nobody could stop me. I went on to practice at school, having been born and brought up in Chennai, studying in an Anglo-Indian school. I had a very huge campus sports ground. I had a personal trainer. who was, training me. I was so good that I was very, very well placed, getting prizes in state level, district level, okay, in long jump, high jump, 100 meters, 200 meters, relay, right, a basketball, throw ball, volleyball, represented my school at various end, represented Madras University at various end. And I have to say that I put a picture of high jump. Why I put that picture is, yes, I am a national level junior high jumper. During the girls section, I was a national level player, while during my days in the women's section, PT Usha was there along with me. Being in Chennai was so easy for me. I could go to any sports ground. Luckily, my father said, okay, it is not a problem, you can do. But I'm very sorry. Whenever I went to sports, whenever I came back home with lots of cups and medals and individual championship, okay, I had to put it under the bed, come and stand in front of my mother, who will give me left and right. Yes, she used to beat me. She used to tell, Uma, you are a girl, you're not supposed to be running. You are a girl, you should not be jumping. This is wrong. You are a woman, you are a girl. You are not supposed to go to sports. But I never bothered. Took up all the beatings, right? I continued my wishes. At the same time, I knew that I cannot be running all my life. I cannot be jumping all my life. I also, geared up myself in my academics. So, because of which I am there today as a professor of medical genetics, also as a principal of allied health science. Why? It's not because my mother begged me. She, as a woman, that is a way a mother needs to tell. Those days, a time when the society said that the woman only needs to study, only needs to get a small degree and get married up. Well, that is a family I have come. I cannot blame my mother about it because that is a society she was living in. But fought my way to go ahead to do the various degrees for which my father was very good. So that is where a man who is supposed to help you, if he is there, be woman, be girl, right? We can do anything in this world, is my personal experience. How I had to face so much of situation. The sports in me kept the spirit in me for which I am what I am today. So this should be the notion of each and every girl who's attending this particular session with us. Okay, yes, we women are good, we girls are good, we can do what we want, and if it is going to be in a good positive stretch, we can always achieve success, and it is going to be all our way. I'm going to give you a few examples. You can see this particular lady, she's Shanta Devi. Okay, along with her husband, she was working in the Delhi's largest truck shop. So what do I mean by this? This Shanta Devi was originally from Goliva. She had worked all kind of odd jobs she was doing. Finally, she came to Delhi 35 years ago with her first husband, who drank and died. Later, she remarried. She set up a small tea stall in a transport center. That was the time she decided that she and her husband needs to hire a mechanic to have a small mechanic shop along with a tea shop so that she can get more income. Slowly, both she as well as her husband learned the ways how to be a good mechanic, and she became the India's first woman, okay, truck mechanic. Okay, she was able to build a house. All the children, she was able to get married. The only will, she decided she will take up any job. Well, she's a lady mechanic. Do you realize it? There's no lady mechanic who can, lift or move a 50-kilo truck tire. She outbeat all the performances of what a man can do. It's a man's job. No, she said it could also be a woman's job. If I have done it, I think any woman in this world, any girl in this world can do and can succeed. The second, the picture may go a bit crazy. You may think that the person there is a male. Sorry, it is a female. She is Shubhangi and she's a Mumbai fire brigadier. Okay, she's there as a brigade of fire officer over there. And you can see it was her will to become a firefighter has made many other women to join the fire brigade group. When a time was there, it was only a men's job. When I say it's a men's job, I'm talking about the stereotype, right? I'm talking about a stereotype where this is a man's job, not a woman's job. We women in India have outbeaten, just like Subhangi, who at the age of 9 years old, became the first few women officers to be hired by the fire department. Okay, it wasn't a career that Shubhangi would have really imagined when she was growing up in Pune. There was no police or the army in her family. But then she studied chemistry because it was a compulsory to become a fire officer. After graduation, she saw a recruitment in the ad in the newspaper, and then she went on to become and got into the team of the fire department. So it was the first time they were calling a woman. She said, I thought, let's try it. So she became a fire officer. She has heavy responsibilities, but she's able to manage all her responsibilities and all the duties. And you can see over there, 3 firefighters over there in the department of the fire department getting laurels and awards for being a very good, a firefighter, not because, okay, they are women, it is because they have proved themselves to be equal to that of a man. So her ambition, when asked, she glanced over her male colleague and said, why not? Why not? I'm a woman, so the department. Think of it. The will in her has made her to prompt the words. Being the head of the fire department, which is completely, swayed by the men, has now slowly has started to take to and leading us to a woman department, to heading a different department with males. Wow, I think it's something very great and ambition. May God bless her with that. The another aspect is about transgenders. This is a separate topic. I just wanted to bring in this particular transgenders because I'm only talking about the men, I'm only talking about the women, and I'm trying to tell boys or men are always, preserved in the society as great heroes, whereas the women are nothing but a very small and a very soft gender. You keep quiet, you know nothing. This kind of things are coming. But there are people in this world where all the males have got a feeling inside them stating that I am a woman, what I'm doing in a man's body. So they have converted themselves as a woman. See, if this is what a man wants, which means there's some meaning in it. Being a woman is very soulful, very lovely. So maybe because of that, these men, 100% they are males. I'm working on them. So I'm being a geneticist. I'm telling you, dear students, they are 100% 46XY in their chromosome. But why is that? The feel in them, the mind in them keeps saying that I am a woman, and they have the will to convert themselves wearing saris and proving I am a woman, I don't want to be a man. There are also trans women, trans men, a woman thinking I am a man, I want to convert. So all these conversions are going on. Okay, only one thing I need to say, any individual on the world, any individual being born on this earth, either a man or a woman, or a man who wants to become a trans woman or a transgender, or a woman who wants to be a man or a trans man, everybody must be given equal rights. So you see how beautiful she is? She's Apsara Reddy. She's an Apsara Reddy. She's a wonderful dancer, right? She was a man, 100% man with lots of degrees behind. But then a time came when she realized she does not want to be a man at all. She wanted to be a woman. So she went for a sex reassignment surgery where the testis and penis were removed. And then she started wearing sari. She proved who she was. She's an Indian transgender Congress politician, Apsara Reddy. And all that she wants is, I want to be looked upon as an equal. Now she's fighting with us. I am a woman. You are also a woman. Let's be equal. This is the kind of scenario as of now we are in. And I think we need to glorify each and every transgender was converted to be a trans woman should also be respected as a wonderful, a woman in that particular individual. Let me talk you to some about the examples of the gender stereotype. Early years, what was it told? It was told that the girls should always only play with toys or small dolls, right? Where a boy should play with truck, should play with, the aeroplane, should play with the helicopter, should play with the cars. So this kind in early years was done by our parents, by our grandparents, everybody. If it is a girl, give a Barbie doll. If it is a boy, give him a big truck or a car. So early years itself, the mindset of a girl, of a boy is transformed. They keep believing that this is what they have to do. And these are the small annoying things that happen during the early years. Later on, oh, a girl, buy her a pink dress. Okay, baby pink, that is a dress. Or you wear a nice cherry red, that is what the girls should wear. Boys, no, don't put any pink color dress. Hey, he's a boy, man. Okay, put him nice dark blue, light blue, put dark green, light green. So these are the two colors that has been directed. And think of it, dear girls, this has been going on only for the past 50 years or so. Girls are pink, boys are blue. This was never earlier. Earlier, all men were wearing pink color shirt to show themselves with more beauty of body, soul, and mind. Here, there are pictures. You see a man wearing a pink color, shoes over there, shirt over there. Another man having an umbrella of pink. Anybody looking at him will be laughing at him. But no, they are not bothered. They feel pink is only a color. It doesn't identify me to be a woman. I'm not a woman. So even if you see the ladybird cycle, it is pink in color. But a boy there is proposed to ride in that cycle because each and every one there in the picture believes pink is only a color. It does not mean that I am a woman or a girl. So I have to say one more thing. In Taiwan, you believe that boys should not wear girl dress, only pant, only shirt, only coat, only suit? No. In Taiwan high school, they also allow the boys to wear the skirts. So you see the picture there, boys coming in skirt is very common. Girls, if you want, you wear the shorts. Girls, you want, wear the pant. But don't tell me I cannot wear a top and a skirt. So the most rigorous debate that is going on with the length of the skirt. Boys want a short skirt. Think of it. This is the kind of a scenario. Things have changed. So there's nothing in the dress that we think a boy's dress or the girl's dress. Anybody can wear anything. This is what is a latest trend, but the earlier trend, the earlier mind in our society still has it in mind. This is a girl's dress. That is a boy's dress. When it is going to change, it's a big $100 million question. So during the youth time, what happens is girls are said they read well, but only boys are very good in maths. Girls, you should behave very well. Boys, you do whatever you want. You can run, you can jump, you can climb up the trees. But girls, no. Sit in one place, put the cross leg. Okay, be very quiet, right? Girls, they say they are not as interested as boys. Boys are very good in the STEM subjects. What are they? Science. They are very good at technology. They're very good at engineering. They're very good at mathematics. This was what in the youth time they keep saying, okay, girl, what will they take? What kind of subjects they will take? Teach them home science, ma. Ask them to take, the nutrition class. Ask them to go for, needlework, that kind. But this was a trend earlier. Because they believe that women are not, brainy enough. But I'm very sure all of you will agree during youth, even though this was tech, things have changed as of now. And they say girls should be very thin, should be very beautiful, should be very appealing to men. Why? Only girls should be like this. The man can be very fat, right? Can do whatever he likes. Okay, put kind of a haggard color of hairstyle. Both should be well to, pleasing to their eyes. It needs not mean that all girls should be thin. It is way their genetic makeup is, yes, they can do something to be lookable, but it should not be conditional. So boys and men are expected to use violence and aggression to prove their manliness. Okay, so they have the right to take up and break the woman and all that. But then there are times when a man, if he doesn't, not very aggressive, a woman also has her own target. You can see the vice versa also being happening around the world. So, dear girls, harassing women, we have to inform the men or the boys, if you're going to harass me, it does not prove your masculinity. Okay, maybe women are not very full of strength and energy. That is not so. If a man hits, a woman can also hit. If a man hit, doesn't mean that he's very masculine, he's hitting us. So things have changed. Harassing should never happen. I'm not saying a woman should, beat like this. No. That is not my point. Right? That is not my point. Right? Everybody, if a man can beat, a woman can also beat. But this is very negative. But I'm telling you this over here, right? Everybody must have an amicable kind of a solution. Only when they respect each other, such scenarios will never ever happen. Okay. As they go old, what do they say? Woman, you always be very simple, very humble. As an adult, you should be very feminine. Okay, don't talk very loud, talk very slowly. I'm not a man. See, you see that woman there? How she's keeping the hands on her hip? And if anybody is going to see that, oh, she's very bossy. See that person at her side, so simple, so humble. My God, that woman is very bossy. She looks like a bitch. This kind of a scenario should be eliminated, not only from that of the men, but also from each and every woman to assume things in their mind which they've conceived, which they've perceived earlier in their mind as a young person, as a teenager, as an adult. Okay, so as an adult, things go on. Women, they don't have equal pay, right? That is how even in the farmland and agriculture, men are paid more than the woman. Even though they work for the same hours. Women do not need equal pay. Why? Because you are supported by your husband. No, your husband is earning. No, why do you need more? So this is a kind of a concept. Women are natural nurturers. I 100% agree. Right? They say men are only leaders. It is not so. Men can also be very good nurturers. I know so many fathers there. How beautifully they have brought up their son and daughter. How beautifully they have started to take care. Earlier only maternity leave was given. Now I know fathers who are fighting for paternity leave. I also want to be a natural nurturer. I also want to be a caretaker of my son, of my daughter. It is not that men are the only natural leaders. Women, you can take our own Jayalalitha, what a wonderful natural leader she was. You can take that of our Indira Gandhi, was a wonderful natural leader. You can take in Britain Margaret Thatcher, who was very great, held the office for so many terms. Yes, women are natural nurturers, right? There are so many who are natural leaders too. So if they say women with children, they're left devoted to their jobs, that is not so. At home, yes, they are 100% mother. At workplace, yes, they are 100%. They take up whatever job that is given. They work in their full stretch. It does not mean a woman with the children will do a less work. They are devoted at home. While at work, they are devoted at work. This is what I would like to say. Men who spend time with their family, they say I'm less masculine. We are poor breadwinners. I don't agree with all this, even though all this have been there in the mind, right? And the last thing that everybody states that man should never cry in the public. Only woman can cry. That is not so. Everybody has got their own feel. The best thing is outbreak your feel. If it is a man, you cry, man. If it is a woman, yes, you cry. It is not that woman only should be seen to be crying in public. Man has also got the right. But this is the kind of a stereotype that has gone to each and every one in their mind, right? Where they've decided man should never even shed a few drops of tears, which is wrong. And I feel that all the girls there will also agree with me. So gender stereotype still prevails in our culture. The teacher there must, of course, boys and girls are equal. Mommy, everybody equal. Okay, take up your textbook, open up the first page. There you see the picture there. Woman is cooking and the man is going, tata, bye bye. You cook, you do all the household work, right? So this is the trend that still seems to continue, but not all. Things are changing. See this. Men should never have long hair. Women only should have long hair, right? Men only should have a boy cut. Women should not have a boy cut. But in this world, present world, the picture there speaks its own. I don't think so. I need to explain further. Same baby, right? Okay, twins. One is a boy, one is a girl. Same facial features, everything one. When they see the boy, they say, a big, strong boy, great man, a cute girl. How is that? Everything seems to be same. Why do you use that word? It starts at the time of the birth, not men, not women. It is everyone who say, boy, oh, he's great. He's going to be a strong boy. Very cute. Can you see this boy over there? Shall I not tell that he's a cute boy? Yes. There's nothing that the word cute should only be used for girls or for a woman, right? It can also be used for a boy. A cute looking guy, yes. Woman, a strong woman, good enough even to carry a man. That I have just shown it to you to gain more confidence in yourself, dear girls. So you see, nowadays mothers are changing. It is not that only the boy must wear a Spider-Man's dress. It is not only the girl that must wear a fairy. If a small boy wants to wear a fairy dress, yes, the mother is ready. If a small girl wants to wear a Spider-Man dress, yes, the mothers are ready. So things are changed. Not all boys need to be a prince. Not all girls need to be a princess. They can decide what they want to look like in the verge of the situation. And every parent need to accept that, right? Everybody are equal in this world. So, dear friends, things have changed a little. It is for good. I say a little because I should not be talking about the people in the city or the metropolitan where, things have changed and we have realized it. Now I want all my audience to tell me, how do we go about with the gender equality? How do we stop the stereotyping? There is still a long way to go in India. I don't want to talk about others. Okay, is men equal to women? Is a boy equal to a girl? Is there a gender equality in wherever we are? At the home place, at the workplace, right? Within your friends? Well, it is the future to tell us whether there is an equality or whether there is not an equality. So dear students of Sri Venkateshwara Dental College, let's start to break open the handcuff. The two pictures there are nothing but the sign of the male and a female. They are handcuffed, stating that this is what you have to be. This is what you should not be. Let's break it. Let's all break it. Because we as a woman have come to a time when we need to join hands, when the boys need to join hands with the girls, when the girls need to join hands with the boys, when a man has to join hands with a woman, and a woman, all the places where we work, at the places that we transport, as in the workplace, in the school, at colleges, at home, everywhere, let us all be treated equal. Let us not have a mind that we are stereotypes saying, you are a boy, you have to do this. You are a girl, you need to do this. No, I don't think so. We need to proceed further. Let's not have any kind of a gender equality, right? Let us think that we are inequality, sorry. We need to think that we are all equal, whether it is a male or a female. Thank you. But dear friends, let's not exaggerate too much. Okay, so this large picture there states what it is. What you really need to know is, let's be what we are. All we want is treat us equal. There are times when I as a mother need to do my duty as a mother. I will do it. That does not mean that a male at home stayed to say, you are a mother, you're supposed to do. God has given us two most beautiful things to beget children. Well, that only we can do it. Yes, we have to accept. God has given us a thing to milk our baby. Yes, we have. right? But the father in a person, a brother in a person, right? The goodness in a man, right, needs to come to, consider the heart, soul, and mind. Both are equal. I am equal to you. You are equal to me. You can do so many things. I can also do so many things. Let's not separate. Let's not stereotype. Let's not say that you cannot do this, I cannot do that. Let's work together. Let's join our hands and let's be successful in life. With this, I thank the principal of Sri Venkateshwar Dental College, as well as the faculty there. And dear students, I thank one and all for having listened to me. Thank you so much. Yes, Amrita ma'am, I think I've
Yeah, ma'am,
completed.
it's my immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks, ma'am. A big thank you to Dr. A.N. Uma, ma'am, for the great efforts towards today's program and to make us understand self-confidence is a superpower. Once we start to believe in ourselves, magic starts happening. You have really enlightened with your inspirational speech, ma'am, and motivated us to reach our goals. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for your perfect knowledge sharing speech on gender bias and stereotyping. I, on behalf of our institution, once again thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful and inspirational speech, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you so much. Any students wants to ask some question? Is there a session? I think we have another 5 minutes. If any students want to talk, they can talk. Or if they can post something in the chat box also, they can do it. So if any students, there is some link there, madam. What is that?
Yeah, ma'am, it's a feedback for today's
Okay,
session.
feedback.
I have shared the feedback form for the today's session, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay. So if anybody needs to talk or any questions need to be answered, any interaction?
Students, any questions or any queries? You can just ask, ma'am.
Right, ma'am. If not so, we can sign off, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
the
Thank you for your
students.
wonderful speech, ma'am. Really, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita. Okay, convey my regards to Dr. Varsha,
Sure,
as well as
ma'am.
to Dr. I think she has been coordinating, and kindly send my deep sense of gratitude to your dear principal, right? It's been a very good for me to have a session, an eye-opener for all of us. We already know what we are, but we need to have somebody to, tap on our shoulder and say, yes, you are a woman. Yes, you can do everything. You are a girl. You can achieve everything. So this is a news I want to tell to all the dental college girl students. Kindly gear up all your temper in you and prove yourself that you're a wonderful girl, that you're a wonderful, daughter of your parents. That is all that we all wish for. Thank you, dear students. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.